जी 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 मैडम जी।
मैं डॉक्टर श्वेता सिंह, असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ फिलोसफी, आप
जी
सभी
जी
लोगों का हार्दिक स्वागत और अभिनंदन करती हूँ
जी
और आपको धन्यवाद देती हूँ आपके इस सार्वजनिक व्याख्यान के लिए। और मैं आगे के पेपर की प्रस्तुति के लिए आमंत्रित करती हूँ डॉक्टर अनन्या बरुआ, असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ फिलोसफी, हिंदू कॉलेज, हिंदू, दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी। ओवर टू यू मैम।
Thank you very much. I hope I'm audible and visible.
Yeah, ma'am. You are audible.
Thank you so much. Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityur ma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. With this silent prayer, I hope that we have entered half the year. It's the month of June and half the year, braving the corona problem variously. And I thank the Department of Philosophy, Magadh University, for giving me this opportunity to present my thoughts on this very enthralling theme. I hope I would be able to do justice. The paper that I have entitled is written as From Corona to Karuna, a Confusciused Gita, the Way Out. I'm straight away reading from the paper. COVID-19 has been declared as pandemic by WHO. The Pandora's box that this virus has opened up has been unprecedented. At times like now, when uncertainty has become the new certainty and the virtual world, the actual real world, it is the awakening call given to all of us to pause, reflect, and ponder on what our actions had been and see where we have gone astray, if any.
Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am.
Yeah.
मैम आपका कैमरा थोड़ा सही कर दीजिए मैम, दिख नहीं रहा प्रॉपर्ली.
Can you see me now?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah?
It's okay. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. In this pursuit, our ancient pearls of wisdom from the Oriental traditions will be revisited, particularly the treasures from Bhagavad Gita and from Chinese philosopher Confucius. It is all the more pressing why we need to go back to the Chinese roots for the pandemic that has started, we know, has started from Wuhan, a province in China. The focus that is missing is perhaps to go back to the main roots. It is only when we fail to respect the verses versed by the seers and sages and the enlightened minds and take them only for theoretical purpose do we realize how far we have come from our own roots. Let me revisit some of the verses that make absolute sense today. Now, I'm introducing the very problem of COVID. What is this COVID-19 all about? COVID-19 has been defined as a mild to severe respiratory illness that is caused by coronavirus, is transmitted chiefly by contact with infectious materials such as respiratory droplets or with objects or surfaces contaminated by the causative virus and is characterized especially by fever, cough, and shortness of breath and may progress to pneumonia and respiratory failure. Now, coronavirus has been defined as a state of ill health that affects the respiratory tract. WHO declared COVID-19 as pandemic on March. Countries across the globe have been working frantically to come up with a successful vaccine against it, but so far in vain. The fight against corona pandemic is not only real, but taking up ugly curves to only trigger fear, stress, anxiety, and a sense of generic atmosphere of uneasiness. Various attempts have been taken by the government, specialists, experts, and many more to flatten the curve, but not much in vain. Today, the virus has slowly, stealthily, has become a part of all of our topic points, unwantedly, consciously and unconsciously, but definitely unannounced, uninvited, and unwelcome. The uglier truth is that it is here amidst us and there to stay. Health experts and veterans across have given clear instructions to be followed to deal with this pandemic malady, which are to wash our hands till the elbow frequently with soap or detergents, to wear a mask whenever we go out, to restrict gatherings, to maintain social distancing, to stay indoors as much as we can, and so on and so forth. Now, I come to the main part of my paper, which is to connect with the roots. Here, we must tried to revisit what do our legends say. In mythology, Swarnabhanu, the demon, had trespassed the line of the Devas, guised as one, while Mohini was distributing the elixir of life Amrit, only to be alerted by sun god and moon god to Lord Vishnu, who promptly with his Sudarshan chakra dissects the asura, making it split into two halves, the head as Rahu and the tail as Ketu. However, Rahu Ketu, stands immortal for a drop of Amrit, had already quenched Swarnabhanu before the Sudarshan chakra could reach him. Intriguingly, this entire virus initiated post the major Amavasya, new moon of 26 December 2019, tremendously post-January, where Ketu has been transiting in the 9th house owned by Jupiter, the most benign of all the planets. Jupiter, unfortunately, has then been transiting in the 10th house of karma, which is in its debilitated position, and karma sthan, which is the time of karma actions where we all have to take a note of. We also have to understand the role of Rahu. Rahu has been transiting in the 3rd house, which is the house of communication or air, and this virus is definitely a communicable disease. And we should also know the lord of Rahu in that Ardra Nakshatra is Pashupatinath. Pashupatinath is no one but Lord Shiva, the lord of animals. Now, Pashupati Nath, it is payback time for all the atrocities done to animals by mankind, with Pashupati seeing to it that the much needed balance is restored. Ketu started picking up the toxic of the virus when it was transiting the Mula root nakshatra and is vomiting out from its other half, Rahu, or the mouth, who is making sure to spit out the venom and amplify the same exponentially all over the globe. Going back to history, it has been seen time and again that whenever Rahu and Ketu have transited over this axis, major upheavals have happened in the globe. COVID-19, this time WTC, tragedy the previous time. At times like this, it is all the more pressing why we need to go back to the Chinese roots for the pandemic that has been caused by Wuhan, a province in China. The focus that is missing is to go back to Mula roots. Only had the Chinese been more in tune with their classics, perhaps, just perhaps, this pandemic would have kept being an epidemic, or better still, a raging virus. It is only when we fail to respect the verses versed by the enlightened minds and take them only for theoretical purposes do we realize how far we have come from our roots, unfortunately. Confucius, Analects. The Analects of Confucius are the worthwhile verses disseminated by the seer as a work of document. The magnum opus Analects contain the pearls of wisdom which have been either ignored or unheeded by the present age. Primarily, the book of Analects contains the rules for everyone. Dharma. Dharma has been prescribed by Confucius. I'm going to read out certain verses of Confucius here. Verse 1. Life is really simple, but man insists on making it complicated. Now, as a student of philosophy, I had studied about the 4 stages of life: brahmacharya, grihastha, sannyasa, vanaprastha, and sannyasa. And when one, or forest, is not a forest anymore, where animals no longer roam freely and widely, where deforestation has become the norm, where global warming has been the position that has been spewed out, where to utilize it for growing needs, isn't COVID-19 actually a pause button to stop, reflect, and revisit all that we have been doing? The amount of karma done by the hands of mankind is not enough to wash off the stain. The only respite we can still sweeten our hands, as in Lady Macbeth, the verse was very popular, by following the basics, which is adhering to the competent authorities by washing our hands with detergents and so on. But the point is, can we wash off the karma which we have gathered throughout our human actions collectively? Is China to be blamed solely? Coming to verse 2. Never do to others what you would not like them to do to you. It is a common view that Mondays had been dreaded by all, for post a weekend rest, going out of one's house and climbing the college premises was a drudgery, so much so that people often wished and prayed, I wish Monday had not come. And it is said, Goddess Saraswati sits on the tongue once a day and fructifies the thought. And there we are. We are in a situation where we do not really have to go to our college premises physically, and we are all locked down. It is a reboot method then done by Mother Earth for all humans to revisit the actions they have been doing all these years. It has been said that when atrocities go beyond the stable limit, it is time that nature takes her own stand. Many of the Adivasis, the real inhabitants, the animals, have reclaimed their periphery. The whales have hid back to the coast. The pigeons are seen fluttering happily, the air breathing cleaner and purer, the water tasting healthy and normal, the trees standing tall and supporting, and the humans spending indoor times as much as they want with their loved ones. And as I write this article, I see free birds flying on the cleaner, curious sky, having their last laugh, seeing the human beings caged, restless, and panic-stricken. It is the payback time now. Verse 3, death and life have their determined appointments, riches and honors depend upon heaven. In the 17th century was the time of Shakespeare at his best, where he wrote some of the finest classics. As in Magadh, one hears, none of the perfumes from Arabia will sweeten this little hand, screamed Lady Macbeth, hallucinating drops of blood stain on her. Today, we always hallucinate droplets of anyone and everyone sneezing or coughing to be engulfing us. The adventurous classic was written by Shakespeare, bringing with it all the stages of emotions, anger, betrayal, love, despair, destruction, hallucination, and more. Wuhan, China, from where this dreaded virus originated, was because of the insane consumption of meat, tamed and wild, both, so much so that bats to pangolins too were not spared. These verses are revisited to understand the lessons that we as humanity have to learn. In this learning process, it is these ancient scriptures of Confucius, Analects, and Srimad Bhagavad Gita that will make our obscure path clearer and cleaner. Nature is giving us all a wake-up call. She is maintaining the social distance from human. Nature is maintaining the social distance from human and is asking us to purify our karma. Let us be mindful now of our moves, of our thoughts, of our visions. Let us not use this lockdown as a form of imprisonment, but understand that to stay inside means we need to go deep within our own roots, within our own souls. Connect with ourselves. Let us for once recreate a world that is free of toxicity, abundant violence of nature, and other discriminatory acts that we have all along been doing. Nature seems to be having the last laugh. With Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the celestial chant on Karuna, I come to the second part of my article now, which was entitled Karuna to Karuna. Literally, the meaning of Srimad Bhagavad Gita is the beautiful or the divine song of Supreme. Srimad Bhagavad Gita is the venerable holy book of the followers of the Sanatana Dharma. This is older to analect, but the line of teaching is akin to it. The unparalleled hallmark of Srimad Bhagavad Gita is that it emanated at the battlefield of Kurukshetra against the Pandavas and Kauravas, with Lord Krishna himself as the spokesman and charioteer of Arjuna, one of the Pandavas. The verses of Srimad Bhagavad Gita talks about one's duty, dharma, and how karma is linked, or karma is dharma. In our Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, verse 13-14, this particular shloka on Karuna states, Advesta sarva bhutanam maitra karuna eva chit nirmanam nirahankara samadukha sukha shama santusta satanam yogi yatama drahasta nischaya maya arpita mano buddhiraya madabhaktaha samahapriyaha. The verse signifies one who is not envious, but who is a soul kind and generous enough, sprinkled with karuna. He is my priyaha, he is my favorite. And who knows he is just a servant in the service of God who is above ego and stable, whether in high or low phases, and one who is always satisfied and engaged in devotional service with determination, and whose mind and intelligence are in agreement to each other, is always dear to Lord Krishna. Chapter 2, verse 47 is a very popular verse again. Karmainyave, I'm sure all of us know this. Adhikarstate ma phalesu kadachana. A person has the right towards action alone and not towards fruit of action. Let not the fruit of action be the motive for acting. Also, let there not be any attachment to inaction. Chapter 3, verse 37. Kama esha krodaha esha rajaguna sambhavaha mahashana mahapapamaha vidyamaha vairina maha. desire, and anger, which are born out of passion, are insatiable and prompt man to great sin and should be recognized as enemies. These three verses of Srimad Bhagavad Gita speak unanimously on the triple obligation that we need to pay heed today: karma, dharma, bridged by Karuna. To understand this, we must recognize that Brahman, or the cosmos, universe, multiverse, is an effect of the three guna: sattvika, truth, beauty, goodness, depicted by the color white; tamasika, dark, heavy, malefic, depicted by the color black; rajasika, activator, energizer, catalytic, depicted by the color red. It is overwhelming to know that this three guna resides in every object, both jiva and ajiva. All and sundry are a display of the sattvika or the tamasika, and the path that they decide to trod on is the defining moment when they become rajasika. It is enthralling to know that the allegorical projection, the planet Jupiter, is presented as dharma adhikari, planet Saturn is karma adhikari. And
hello, ma'am, sorry for interrupting.
Just 2 minutes?
Please complete your paper, just 2 minutes.
All right, thank you. I will just do that. Yeah. Okay. So in between benefic, so what we see is the Jupiterian qualities or the Saturnic qualities are there inside us. We have the Sattvika, we have the Tamasika. It is for us to decide which Rajasika path we need to take. So my humble submission has been Corona to Karuna, insight from Confusciused, from China and Bhagavad Gita is the way out. And also I think, though I have been teaching at Hindu College, Delhi University for the last 12 years, but I will not be doing justice if I fail to mention our Vaishnavite Guru, Srimanta Shankardev, since I come from Assam, that he is the perfect embodiment of Vasudeva Kutumbakam, the theme of this paper, of this session, since under his Ekacharana Nama Dharma, which is one feet, and I take solace, I take refuge in the feet of Lord Krishna. Anyone and everyone can come it, be he or she a Mohammedan, be he or she a Garo, a tribal, or whosoever. Anyone or everyone can just take refuge in the feet of Lord Krishna, and there he is accepted. He becomes empowered, she becomes empowered. So I would like to end my paper with my deep gratitude and my deep humbleness to Srimanta Shankardev of our 15th century Vaishnavism of Assam. And thank you so much. Thanks to all the organizers and the participants for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much. I can't hear you. Should I mute myself?
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. Now I request Dr. Neeti Singh, Assistant Professor, Department of Philosophy, Banaras Hindu University, to present her paper. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, of course. Hello?
Yeah.
Anji.
You are audible.